Hey garden friends, welcome on back. I'm sorry I'm squinting, the sun's right in my eyes, but that's okay. It's warm in here, even though it's windy outside. You know, it's 84 in here. Love it. Anyways, today we are going to propagate salvia from cuttings, and I'm going to show you step by step how that is done. So let's get rolling. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and or share with your friends, and then subscribe if you want to know about new videos coming up. Propagating salvia from cuttings. It is super simple, and it's quicker and easier than you might think. It's a great way to get more for your money. I just bought this salvia because it was big and lush and beautiful. I've already taken some cuttings from it. They're in on the light rack. I hope they will be quick to root because I have them on a heat mat. That helps, especially salvia's warm weather plants. But yeah, so it's barer than when I bought it. This was $10.95, and I can get a lot of plants from it. I did want to share with you one I did in the fall. I've shared this before. I had it sitting right over here. Where did I put it? I'm constantly moving things around in here. So anyway, so right down here, it went dormant, and then you can see right here, there's more coming up. There was a plant coming up in the center, and it broke off. I don't know what I did. It was me, probably. And then this one over here, the stem is still green. You probably can't see it yourself, but it's still green, so that means plants will come up from it. But I'm very pleased. As I said, it's just waking up from dormancy because it's been getting warmer here. And the longer daylight, that helps too, because then it keeps the greenhouse warmer longer, and then even though at night the temperatures dip pretty low, the greenhouse will keep its warmth for a portion of that time. Warmth at night is important, but this greenhouse is not insulated, it is not heated, so we just take it as it comes. So I was letting this get good and watered. These leaves here are looking a little sad, and I'm assuming that's because it's gotten really cold in here and salvia like it warm. What I'm going to do, once I'm done taking the cuttings, I have taken these to put inside on the heat mat. Then I will probably stick this in my studio cottage for a little while. And that's in case it gets too cold at night. And I may decide just go ahead and tough it out and leave it in here and see what it does. But we can still get some really, really cold nights up in through May. So that's why I hesitate on what I'm doing, and I know they like it warmer. So I'm going to use a recycled 6-pack pots or whatever. My potting table is a mess because I've been in here working and I haven't taken the time to clean it up. But I'm going to add more perlite to this mix here in just this 1/4 because I don't want to mix it with all of it right now. I got to let that dust go away so I don't breathe it in. And then I'm just going to mix it with this soil right here. Just keeping it contained in this one little area. I don't know if you can see this, but pretty much right there. We want good drainage. We don't want them to rot before they root. And the one thing nice about perlite is it will retain oxygen. So it's harder to overwater or drown your plants. Okay, got it filled in. And we will set it right here so you can see what I'm doing. Now the water in here, I will set this in to absorb from the bottom once we've planted everything up. And you know what? This dirt right here is making me a little crazy. So I'm going to clean it up. So while I'm cleaning this up, we'll chat just a little bit. I do have a bunch of salvias started. I shared with you how I started from seed. Those are all little seedlings right now and still on my light rack. They are no longer on the heat mat, but they just need light now and to be kept halfway decently warm, which my office where my light rack is stays warm. Okay, I've got this pretty much cleaned up. See these strawberries? These are, I got these when I got that plant, but this is Chandler. And I have 3 or 4 different types of strawberries, but the Chandler are the ones that are grown in the valley for you to go pick up. You know, you go buy a strawberry stand or something, and that's the variety usually that they have. So I wanted to try to grow them here. You know, different strawberries, different varieties do better in different climates. So I don't know if this one is cold hardy. The one I love is Eversweet. It's an continual blooming through the summer. It doesn't do a bunch, but one or two here and there throughout the summer. And they are the sweetest things. They're so delicious. So when you find one, it's a big treat on your plants. And I just transplanted a bud. I would like a whole big strawberry bed of just the Eversweets. Okay, so first of all, that is ready. Let me get my rooting hormone. This is the one, this is the normal, not the 8. Now the 8 is what I use on harder wood cuttings like roses and stuff, and this is just the regular rooting powder. I use the Biotone. I've used different brands. I even like the gels, but I have that to work with this. So let's get this over here and we'll start working on it. It's drippy, so I put a rag behind it. I don't want the water to go down the table. So we will take the cutting. So I'm going to get my little nippers I love, and I'm going to find a good little cane to pull from. Oh, I guess I should turn it this way so you can see it. Well, I'm getting the leaves. I'll pull the leaves off so you can see what I'm doing. It won't hurt the plant at all, especially as I'm going to be taking a bunch of cuttings here. But can you see right here? This is a nice tall one. I'm going to get right below this leaf node. You see that? And let me throw this down in my compost bin. And I will cut off everything that's close to the stem. And I'll nip out the center. That helps it to promote roots instead of throwing up a shoot. And I'll leave just one leaf cut in half. And now that prevents too much transpiration, and that's the plant losing moisture. Okay, so we'll set this over here. I usually like to put this into some kind of container. I don't like to dip straight in it because it contaminates it. So I just put enough out. I also, to dip in, but I also have a paintbrush that sometimes they do it with. In fact, here it is. So I hope it's not too dark with all the backlight. So I'll paint those edges, especially around the leaf nodes, because supposedly that's where all the roots come from. And then I will use a pen and put a hole in the center. Can you see this here in the center? And then I'll just stick it down in there. And I like 2 leaf nodes below the surface, and that supposedly helps to get more roots quicker. Okay, so that one was one. Now here is another nice one. Well, actually this was a nice one too right here. So I'm going to take it down as far as I can. So here's the cutting, and then I cut off. Sometimes people will lay it down on the table and they'll cut it off with like a razor knife or a little sharp knife. So then I nip out the center, see that, and leave the one leaf. And then I only have 1 leaf node on this one. If I would have cut it further down, I would have had 2, but we have what we have. And so I'm dipping it in there. I like the the paintbrush, because I can do this. Am I in too much shadow for you? That's just how I get to play with the lighting. Let me see if I can tap my face and see if it'll brighten it up. I don't know. Okay. Maybe I'll bring up the light in the post-processing. But then I stick it down in the hole and bury it. So let's find another one. All of these can go in the compost. Like I said, I already have a few in there that I started a few days ago. And it'll be a while before I can put this out in the garden, so I don't mind cutting it back and letting it reflush. And that will work just fine. All right, so here's a nice long one. So I'll get 2 leaf nodes underneath the surface. See this one? And these will, where I cut off the stem, it'll put out 2 stems. So you'll get an even bushier plant. So here's this. I got 2 leaf nodes here. And I'll nip out the center. And I'll nip off these 2. And then I'll cut this leaf down. Okay, and I take the paintbrush of the rooting hormone, and I'll paint it on there. Then I'll get my pen, my dauber, my Sharpie dauber, and put that down in there. Now, let's see if I can get 6 out of this thing. Because, like, already taken some off, it whittled it down. But it's funny because right here, there's already 2 stalks coming up where I cut it back earlier in the week. Okay. So, another. That's a nice chunky one. Cutting all the little leaves off. And this is such a healthy plant. I couldn't resist it. Even though it was 11 bucks, I knew I could take a lot of cuttings from it. So if I get 6 here, 3, if I get 9 more plants, it's like $1 a plant. And even later on, I could do more if I wanted to. So I think a big, huge swath of this salvia will be beautiful. As well as, like I said, I have others coming up from seed. And I want to get one that's more of a fuchsia. So that'll be fun too. So I'm getting this down on that. Oh, need that. I only need 1 leaf on top. My pen. I like the Sharpie because it's nice, big, and round. Gives me a good. Oh yeah, that's 2 right there. Now, when I put it on my light rack and on the heat mat, I will put something over it, like a plastic baggie or whatever, to help retain the moisture until it roots. And that should work well. Okay. So I could do this main stem right here and, yeah, call it good. It's a pretty sad looking plant now. Oh, I see it. The backlight behind me that's causing the... Well, at least on my little video screen right there, it looks dark, quite dark. So all these little side shoots coming off. And those 2, I'll just nip that right in half. Cut that off. Cut the leaf down. Okay, paint the rooting hormone on it. I think that's all I'm going to get because I think I've gotten all of them that I can take. I'll look closely. You see this over here? Stick it down in there. Hopefully I have my other camera up here. Hopefully I am getting video on that too. When I put it up there, it's facing that way, so I can't see the screen. Though I could bring in my iPad and look at it that way. And see. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Can I take another cutting? This one is coming up from the base, and I probably could get another cutting from it. Okay, I might as well go for it. Go for gold. So 1 more so I can fill up my 6-pack container. I love starting things from cuttings and seeds, and it's just a fun part of growing, is watching each step. Now I love buying plants too. Uh-oh. I nipped it accidentally. Ooh. We'll see. We'll see what it does. It could make it, and it could just decide to cock up its toes and die. I didn't mean to do that. I was looking at you instead of the plant. But you never know. Some things are tougher than you realize. And I wonder if I stuck that piece in the ground, if it would go ahead and root. You never know. I'll just stick it in there with that one, and we'll see. I'll cut this big leaf off of it. Alrighty. So now I will put it, there's water in here. Well, maybe I'll put it in this one. I was watering these, bottom watering these, and I think they got enough. Aren't these pretty? This is Armeria. Let me see. It says, provide frost to frost flowering in containers or in the garden. Attractive deep purple blooms are held above compact green tufts of foliage. Very heat tolerant and easy to grow. Tidy habit with continuous blooming spring until fall. I love that. It grows 10 to 12 inches tall and wide. Zones 5 through 9. Oh, I wonder, oh, that means it's hardy here. I wonder if I could plant it out in my containers and right now. I kind of doubt it. It probably needs to be warmer. Okay. And you see back here? Back here is a tray of water, and I will let that absorb the water completely. And we're good to go. So that is how I take cuttings from a salvia that I bought that had a lot of stems. I really looked at them thoroughly, so because I knew I wanted to take cuttings. So that's what I did. So now I will put this over on the shelf over here. I had thought of taking it in because these bottom leaves are looking a little sad from the cold that we've been getting. But even if it kind of died back, it would come back because I really don't have room. I don't have room for such things. Yeah, so that's just a risk I'll have to take. But the cuttings will go in on the heat mat and the light rack. And I will bring you back when these have taken root and when I'm going to pot them up into larger size containers. I got a fungus gnat flying in front of me. I hope you enjoyed this video on taking cuttings from a nice store-bought salvia plant so that I could have more for my garden and reduce the cost of purchasing it. And come on back and we will share later on, probably a few videos from now, how they've taken root, a little update on other things I have done, and more. I have got, I want to do some lavender cuttings and some more rosemary. I was trying to think of the name. Rosemary cuttings so that you can have plenty. I do like to make topiaries out of both the lavender and the rosemary. Here is one I did, and I had to really give it a hard prune because it got that snow mold. I've been talking about that. And it's coming back to life with the warmth, and now that the snow mold's been killed back. But this is one of my little topiaries. It was much lesser, and hopefully this summer it will continue to fill in very, very well. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye.